Hi, I'm Vani, and I have a story to tell you. I traveled to India searching for something I couldn't find anywhere else. I went there to get my yoga teacher training, and I ended up living in a Buddhist nunnery in the Himalayas, meeting the holiness Dalai Lama on his temple, and what had happened on this adventure became a song. I arrived in Rishikesh in the hot summer of May 2025, and Ganesh welcomed me, and I felt held, protected, and at home. I loved the people, the cows, the monkeys, the Ganga River, and it was my birthday gift. I spent a year saving money for that, but more than a decade to have the courage to travel to Asia alone as a woman. My gift was this freedom, this adventure, the yoga training, but to be honest, what I craved most was this connection with God, this connection with the sacred land, what it could awaken on me, how it could heal me, what magical powers would be activated on me. Arriving there, I didn't know it was also the birthday of Buddha, and in the same day of my birthday, 11 May, under a full moon, all north of India and thousands of Buddhists were celebrating Buddha Purnima, the enlightenment of Buddha. I had to study about this date because I got invited to facilitate a cacao ceremony with Static Dance India. I got blessed to be at service and share my medicine with 50 strangers on that special day. That I knew was never about me, but God had brought me on that day to fulfill a higher purpose. When my yoga teacher training ended up and I left Rishikesh, I felt called to go to the Himalayas. My initial plan was to do a hike in a week in the Harkidun Valley, the Valley of the Gods. But due to the Pakistan war threat to India in that area, I changed my mind and I went to Dharamshala instead, a spiritual city known as a safe place in that moment. Following the influence of a friend, I entered a 10-day silence retreat at Tushita Meditation Center, studying Buddhism, observing my mind, experiencing the monastic life. It was time of Saga Dawa. It is the most holiest month of Tibetan calendar, when every action is said to multiply 100 times. So we fasted. We chanted for hours under the full moon, surrounded by candlelight and devotion. They say, whatever you do that day echoes far beyond you, into karma, into time. During the days, I walked through the forest they call Hill of Prayers, cleaning the land in silence. I remember locking the eyes with a Hanuman monkey, like the mountain itself was watching me. And then one day, I found myself at the temple and I met Dalai Lama on his birthday too. It was there in the temple of the holiness that I truly understood the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, a sacred sound repeated for centuries, a prayer of compassion. Om, the vibration of the universe, the beginning of everything, unity and totality. Mani, the jewel, representing intention, love and altruism. Padme, the lotus, rising pure from the mud, symbol of transformation, wisdom, purity and spiritual growth. The integration, bring it all to the heart. Together is the path, the awakening of the self from ignorance to compassion for all beings. After that, I continued my search on my studies, and I made friends with a wise nun that convinced me to join her in her home, in a nunnery in the Himalayas, to study Buddhist psychology with a special lama at the Sunling. I knew my pilgrimage was only starting and I had to go with her. The entire month on those lands, on the mountains, dedicated to explore Buddhism and learn about Buddha teachings, touched me in a very deeper way than when I was studying same in Brazil a decade ago. India was this special magical place on that regard. And when I came back home to Portugal, I knew I had to translate that experience into sound. I had to bring this medicine with me and share to the world. When I came back home, that magic didn't leave me. The mountains, the chants, the mantras, the gods and goddesses, the elements, the rituals, the teachings of the monks and the nuns, my teachers, my friends, they were still with me, and I was still there. I started building a sound, something slow, meditative, grounding, but a mix of all my inner words and places I had visited, a word fusion of Himalayas, but also desert, also tribal, also ancient and global, like a prayer, but in music, in a celebration, in a liberation of the soul. I spent weeks at home producing the entire song by myself, but I felt something was missing, and it was when I invited my friend Cabeção to bring a real percussion and handpan, that instruments that feels like coming from another world, and we worked together, and with the help of another friend, Martin, we finished this song, this prayer, and this is Om Mani Padme Hum.